Hello and welcome along to another World of Tanks replay from the Noob Blade. You're here with jEbUs as always, and today we're driving in something a little special, which is the advent calendar from 2 days ago I think, the T-28E with the F30 gun, which is a premium tier 4 medium tank in the Soviet line. And first of all, no thanks Santa, please don't buy this. Well, maybe if you're a much better player than me, and of course there are plenty of people who do that, you could get a decent amount out of it, but I've found so far, I've done about 9 battles, and mostly it sucks just as much as the T-28 did. The armour is still worth nothing. The manoeuvrability is pretty good for the size of the thing. I mean, you can see here this video is shifting pretty well, but gun depression's terrible. It's a huge target, so anyone can hit it pretty easily, and you really rely, like I did in this match, on being in good matchmaking to do even averagely well. In a match like this where you're relatively top tier and your team's doing well, you should do pretty good, but in other battles I found that if the team's struggling, it's definitely not the sort of tank that can carry. The F30 gun that it has is much better than the stock T-28. It's a tier 6 gun and a tier 4 medium, so that's pretty good. And against lower tier stuff like this, I've found firing HE's the best way to go if they've got no armor, because you can turn something which might have been a 3 or a 4 shot into a 2 shot that way. But overall, I'm pretty underwhelmed really. I kind of hoped I'd be able to get some awesome videos to show you. I know Quickie Baby was sort of considered this one to be a reasonably good buy. And yeah, it was relatively cheap and all, and it's a good crew train and it'll earn good silver and whatnot, but it's not that much fun to drive. And you can see here the aim time on that gun is one of the problems. It's 3.2 seconds I think, but it feels worse than that. But at this tier, when you can just one-shot things, it's not so bad, it's fine. But you can see here that you can't rely on HE all the time. I should have switched to AP against this tank, but I did not. I guess the novelty value of the tank is fine. But yeah, it's hard to say much about it, to be honest. I have below average games in it pretty much. I struggle to... without armor you can't hold a position, hold down really. And I'll show another clip after this one which shows just how bad that armor is, but yeah, I mean, I guess that was what, a 5-minute game, and I still managed to pick up 32,000 silver and 3,000 XP with, that would be a ×2 I'd imagine. So I guess as a crew trainer, it's not a bad idea. I put, I think mostly an Object 140 crew in there. It's got 2 radio operators, which none of the other higher tier Soviet mediums have, so I kind of just chucked anything random that I had in there. But you can see that in 5 minutes I managed to pick up a reasonable amount of damage. Topped the team on 819 in a tier 4 and tier 3 battle. I suppose that's okay. And the other T-28 on the other team got just over 900 as well, so that's alright I suppose. And there you go, yeah, ×2 and event XP as well, so I guess that 3,000 is a bit of an exaggeration, but 685 is not so bad base at that tier. It's not like you're throwing a huge amount of damage around or anything like that. But the big weakness with this thing is the armor, so I'm just going to show you a clip to highlight that now. So here we are on Sand River, and this matchup's a little less kind. Mid-tier, there's tier 5s and things like that. This isn't too bad obviously, that you can get up to tier 6 in this tank, so it could be a lot worse. But here you go, that's the profile that people have to shoot at pretty much. It's really big, and it's going to be really easy for most things to hit you from long distance, as we're about to find out. So I'm trying to rush up onto the hill. I've sort of been doing that position a little bit more lately as a medium tank. In this instance, not such a good idea. So that was, well, I think at least 4 shells from the Luch and something else, I suspect. But that's more than half my health gone in a couple of seconds, and you can just see that even with the scatter gun like that, the thing is so big that you can get shells all down the side and I lose my commander. Now, it wasn't smart at this point. I think I should have put my commander back into gear and I might have had a better chance to spot things, but I was pretty filthy, losing half my health like that so quickly. So I guess what I'm saying is that it's kind of a fun enough team for the lols, and yeah, you'll get reasonable XP and I guess reasonable silver for tier 4 is if you're using it as a crew trainer, but as far as premium tanks go, it's certainly not a good one. And if it wasn't for the fact that it wasn't part of the well, it was part of the Advent calendar event, I wouldn't be bothered, to be honest. But you know, I thought, oh, I might as well get one. It's Christmas. Why not treat myself? But I guess I could have come up with a better treat than this. Thanks a lot, Santa. It's no good at all. And here we go, just trying to get over into a decent position. But what you'll find is that even angled a little bit in frontally, the looks can just rip you apart. So of the entire number of shells the looks fired at me from long range as well, I only bounced 2. And I bet one of those probably hit the tracks or something like that anyway. So there you go. T-28E-F30, not worth it.